Good evening and welcome to Fishing with CJ down on the beach. And I'm down here tonight with Steve, who's sitting just over here. We've just got down, we've just got set up. First, at the moment, I think there's a lot of weed out there, so we're both just going to fish one rod each. And I'm going to need to wind my first rod in because I have a sneaking suspicion that I have picked up a load of weed. So see if I can keep the camera working on that. Okay, so I'm going to wind this rod in, see if we've got anything on there, but in the meantime, I'll catch you later. Well, in fact, I won't. I'll keep you filming. Yeah, it's definitely gone off down tide now. Some weight there, but I suspect it's salad, not the meat course. Got a whole squid on as bait on this rod. Have been some nice bass coming in the last night or so down here, or last night anyway. Oh, I don't know. Did something just tug back then, or was it I'm locked in the bottom? Snapped out. Oh well, first lot of gear gone. Fortunately, I've got another rod tackled up, so I'll whack that out while I re-tackle this one up. Yeah, it's definitely gone. So let's get this other rod out and then re-tackle this one up.
You think it got buried in the shingle?
Pardon?
You think it got buried in the shingle?
Well, it was coming in. It was coming in and I caught a snag over there. And I was a bit impatient with it. Perhaps I should have walked down tide with it a bit. Right, let's walk down there, see if the camera follows me. I sneakingly suspicion it won't, but you never know. I do like this Akios multiplier actually, I have to say. Very smooth. It is very smooth. I've got monofill on this rod, which is probably going to be a little bit more forgiving in these waves actually. Braid might be a little bit too non-stretchy. Right, let's get the other rod tackled up and see how we get on. Okay, I've tackled up the second rod. It's got a whole squid on it. So let's whack that out and see if we can't get two rods fishing. It's still weedy out there, I think, but we'll find out in a minute. Let's see if I can get this camera to follow me. Is it following me? Yeah, it's following me. Don't know if it's going to follow me down the beach though. Yeah, I thought I saw some what could be little knocks on it just now. I've only got little worm baits on there, so could just be weed. Let's whack this one out though and see how we get on. I'm only going to plop this one out. I'm not going to cast it out a long way because we're hoping for a bass. That's what we're hoping for. So it just wants to be sort of out just beyond the length of the groins really. Wants to be nice and high up so we're not in the waves. Right, I'm back. Obviously the camera's not followed me. Right, it's a new camera I'm playing with here. See if I can get back in shot. And it will follow me. There we go. Follow me about. Working a tree. Lovely. Right, so we've got the second rod out with a squid bait. Again, it's not a huge distance out, but it is just past the waves. At first cast, I didn't go out far enough, and I could feel it getting scoured out as soon as it hit the bottom. So I've wound it in, re-rigged it, blasted it back out, and well, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, happy days. I'm going to put the tip lights on here, but I think they're going to be flashing and flashing like anybody's business with these waves, but it's still worth doing. So I'll put the camera back on when all that starts to happen. Right, so Steve is fishing a cocktail bait here.
Yeah, I've got crab and lug.
Okay, crab and lug.
Frozen crab, fresh lug.
Yeah.
I've got it on a...
And it's on a dongle.
Rig that mustn't be named by all accounts anymore, because everybody's talking about them, but they seem to work. There's a 3.0 circle hook. We can but try.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Right, see if that succeeds.
Yeah.
Well, we've been fishing for a while. Neither of us had any bites. The tide is kind of slack now, so it's just at the bottom of the tide. I'm struggling to hold bottom at the moment. I might have to switch over to some 7-ounce leads. I've got one rod out which has got a whole squid on it, and the other rod's got 3 little worm baits on, and they are quite small worm baits, so kind of a scratching rig. The whiting haven't shown up yet, but they must be due any moment now, and we've had a horrendous storms here the last few days, so I'm kind of hoping that the pressure's gone up a little bit and we'll suddenly see some fish, but so far nada thing. So let's just turn this camera around. So there you go. So there's my rod's near the first 2 rods, and then Steve's in the background. The rods are bouncing around like a good one because it's quite rough to see. But yeah, not a great deal happening. Let's have a quick say hello to Steve. So yeah, Steve blinding everybody with his headlight. Okay.
Hello everybody. It's much better to be out here in this lovely weather.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. I mean, after today, even. I mean, 5 o'clock this evening, it was pouring down, wasn't it? It was pouring down.
Managed to find a nice little break in the weather.
Yeah, no, real window in the weather.
Got a lovely moon coming up.
Yeah, in the distance there, the gimbal's reached its last stop. So if you look between Steve's rods, you will see a big white orb, and that is the moon. It's a huge moon coming up. So it's like 3/4 moon. It's not, just a bit more than a half moon anyway. Beautiful orange colour. So yeah, let's keep fishing, and I'll put the camera back on when something happens. I'm trying a new camera out tonight, so there might be some strange camera angles. Hopefully not. But yeah, so far all fireworks. Yeah. Now for me, fireworks mean whiting, but it doesn't seem to be happening this year. Not yet, anyway. Not in any numbers. So yeah, let's keep fishing. Turn that camera around again. Looking at the rods. Put it up here, out of the way, and I'll put it back on when something happens. It's quite quiet, so it's secret weapon time, I'm afraid. I'm going to break out the secret weapon, and I've got the ever popular cinnamon sticky bun. So, guaranteed, as soon as I've got my fingers nice and sticky and my moustache full of cinnamon icing, something will happen. And just to double my bets, I've given Steve one as well. So hopefully we'll get a double hit up when he gets one, when he starts eating his bun. He's got his hands covered in goo at the moment. He's been doing rigs. Now, you know, I quite like eating a cake when I've got fish guts all over my hands, but there are some that don't like that. And if you joined us on the live on Tony's channel last night, you would have heard the story about the bloke who used to buy lugworm and eat them. Oh, each their own, I guess. Doesn't float my boat. So, eating a cake. If something happens, I'll put the camera back on. Right, Steve's just winding into something here. Hopefully we're going to see a fish coming in. So let's turn it around so we can see him. Be nice to see a fish on the beach. Even a little tiddly whiting. To be honest, I was struggling for a while to get my weights to stay in place and what have you, but the wave, the sea, you know, the waves have got smaller now. The tides is definitely slacker. It will be starting to flood soon. Let's hope that when we start seeing a little bit more water in front of us, we might start seeing some fish. You got fish on there, Steve? Got fireworks going on behind us. He looks like he might be bringing a fish in. So you got a fish there, he's picking something up. Whoa, Raymondo. Nice, Ray. Nice one. Woohoo! That's a tidy sized thornback for off the beach.
Yeah.
Big male.
Yeah.
So we're going to get the great big female that's with him.
Yeah.
What bait was that on? Your crab and...
I think it was a crab. I believe it was a... I know. That was lugging... That's bluey.
Oh, okay, look, bluey. Yeah, well, I mean, that's the classic ray bait, isn't it? Bluey. Right. Jolly good. Jolly good. So hopefully things are going to start improving. And that's quite a big male. And my experience is that when you get males, you quite often get them hanging around a female. So the females are bigger. But you never know, we might pick up a big female. So happy days. It's not a blank. Well, it is for me, but not. Was it? Right, I'm going to bring in the rod that's got worm on because it has been out there for a while, and you know there's every chance there's a lot of bait robbing going on. So we'll get that in. I'm leaving the squid rod out for a bit longer because every time I've brought it in so far, it's been in good fettle. But we'll bring the worm rod in, refresh the baits, and yeah. Now, I mean, you might be able to see it in the background, but there's fireworks going off. It's getting near to the 5th of November, very soon. Well, there's no fish on here anyway. No, nothing. But the baits have been definitely chewed at.
Yeah.
But no, nothing. Right, so let's get this freshened up and get it back out there. Right, I've got a comparison going on the two cameras here, the GoPro and the Osmo. It's my new camera. It's an Osmo Pocket 3, just come out. It's not as robust as a GoPro, shall we say like that. If it started to rain, it would probably ruin it. So it'd have to get packed away if the weather turns bad. But looking at it, we'll put the two films up side by side. It's much better in low light. Much better in low light. Yeah. It's a little bit fiddlier than the GoPro. I've got my GoPro set up so I can just point them and turn them on and film, and it's filming. Whereas this, I just did quite a long bit to camera, chatting away. Suddenly realised that I hadn't got the bloody camera on, so I've had to do it all again. So anyway, you can see that the water has calmed down a lot now. My tip lights are not flashing and flashing red all the time like they were. I'm managing to get a little bit more distance in my cast. I was all a little bit rushed when I first got down here this evening. I needed to relax a little bit and concentrate, and I wasn't. I was panicking and it all went to wrong. But anyway, I will. See, they've got a bit of red light flashing there, but I don't think that's a bite. But I wouldn't be surprised if Steve's not got a bite on his right-hand rod. Yeah, well, something's happening. Might be the lead settling down, maybe. Right, I'll put the cameras back on when something starts to happen. I've just activated the face tracking on this, so it's now tracking me. Let's just see how that goes. Walk off into the dark a bit. Is it still tracking me? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, that's working quite well. Right, now the other thing that I'm doing tonight is I'm using my Armytec headlight as a headlight. I've tried using it in other ways in some of the videos that have come up now, but I'm using it as a headlight, and to be quite honest with it, it seems to be working really well. So we will continue doing the review on the Armytec, but yeah, I'm quite impressed with it. I would like to get the brighter one. I don't think it's quite bright enough for what I need, but still good. And you know, I put it on and completely white everything out. Steve's winding in again, changing his bait. I mean, I've had the same bit of squid on for ages. I suppose I ought to put a fresh one on, really. Maybe if I wraps a bit of worm up in it as well. Yeah. Bait's untouched. Come on, let's have a bite. And if you're seeing the fireworks going off in the distance, probably not. Well, we're just commenting on the fact that it's like a different night. The wind, there is still a breeze blowing, but we're tucked in behind a groin here, so we're out of the wind. But the wind has gone round northwesterly, so we, you know, it's off the shore. The sea has flattened out incredibly. I mean, my rods are hardly moving. The tide should be just about running now, so we should have a bit of tide. And just as I was saying that, my nearest rod was tapping a bit. Now that has got monofil on it, so it's going to absorb the bites a little bit, so it won't be a very vicious bite on there. But I was wondering if I had a fish on there for a minute, because usual thing, I put the camera on and it all stops. So what do? Do I wind into it? Or do I leave it? Well, there's 3 baits on there, aren't there? I know they're little tiny worm baits, but there are 3 baits on there. Quite small hooks though, so you know the fish should be able to get those hooks in their mouths and get hooked. Come on, I haven't done a dance for ages. I need to catch a fish that warrants a dance. Yeah, still little tiny touches on that nearest rod. But nothing, no rattly bite.
Oh, it's beautiful now. The sky, got Orion over there.
Yeah, sky, there's clear sky in it. Yeah. I'm surprised. It's not actually, the temperature's not really dropping away, is it? No. Well, while I'm baiting up, Steve quietly in the background is winding into a dogfish.
He's taken this bait and the bait from the other rod.
Taking both rods?
Yeah.
He's got a full belly, I know that. Yeah. Oh well, well done. Let's get this out. I'd be happy with the dogfish, to be honest. Well, I thought I had a fish on here. I really did think I had a fish on here. But the problem with monofil is it does mask the bites. But look at this bad boy. He is coming home for dinner. That is a beauty. Look at that. Look at that. And he's got a dogfish on his back. Oh, I'm well made up with that. Let's get rid of the dogfish first of all, before he takes the skin off my hands. So the dogfish goes down there. But that is a very nice sole. Look at that boy. Look at that. I'll kill my light a little bit, so you can see it in the duller light. That is a very nice sole. I would think £2, yeah. And that is a table fish. Yeah, chuffed, chuffed, chuffed. Right, get my light back on. I'm surprised that didn't give me a better bite than that, to be honest. Yeah, guess what? I can hear some music and cut. Haven't had a dance for ages. Well, how's about that? It's bigger than Steve's ruler. So the ruler is 41. And that is a good 2 centimetres more, so I'd say 43 centimetres. Try and get the shadow of the camera away. So he is going to come back for dinner. He is my dinner tomorrow. But I need to get this dogfish back into the water while it's still alive, and then get that unhooked. So happy days. Well, it is getting near packing up time. It's 20 past 11 now, and the sea is getting close. Now we've got to make a decision now. Do we pack up or do we move up the beach away? What do you think, Steve? Pack up or move up the beach?
Well, I reckon we've got time to fish those out.
Yeah.
And then call it a day.
All right.
It's not like we're being bait.
No, I mean, if we were getting loads and loads of bites, I think we might be saying let's stay out here for a bit longer. But it's getting on. We said we were going to fish to midnight. We're not far off it.
You know, you've had a lovely soul.
You've had a nice ray.
I've had a nice ray. I've had a couple of dogs.
Yeah.
It's we were getting several bites. And I know we're using. Well, you've got one braid and one nylon.
Yeah.
It's not like they're jumping off the rest, is it?
No, we're not getting any little tugs or rattles. Yeah. Of course, if we got a bass, there might be 2 dances. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting near to packing up time. The sea is getting quite close now. The sea is just there. If we were getting loads of rattly bites or baits coming in and getting shredded, I think we would probably stay and move up the beach a bit. I have to say that I don't think we've got very long. This sea is making quite quickly now, and it is coming up along the edge of this drawing a little bit. So I'm going to start packing my stuff up to get ready for the quick pack away. So it's been a cracking night on the beach. I mean, to be honest, when Steve said let's go fishing on the beach tonight, I did think, because the weather has been horrendous. It has been dreadful, but there's a window in the weather, a real window in the weather, because it's getting horrible again tomorrow. And then we've got a match on Sunday, which will probably, it'll be interesting, to say the least. It will be interesting. So, and I'm fishing the match on Sunday, so there will be a video out for that as well. And I'm going to fish it and I'm going to video it from my channel, although I might do the weigh in, etc. for Tony's channel. We'll see how it goes. But in the meantime, thanks very much for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm really made up with this fish, to be quite honest. You know, couldn't wish for better. And I've got me dinner. He's coming home for dinner. Right, well, and Steve's ray was a cracking ray as well. I've used my new camera. I think it's working really well. I'm not sure if it's getting horizon level or not. It's hard to say, really. So it's interesting to see that as well. Thanks very much for joining us. Keep safe, keep sane, keep fishing. I'll catch you in the next one. Hopefully get out on the boat soon. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think next Thursday looks like there might be a window.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Yeah, but I mean it's early days. That could change quite drastically. Yeah. Anyway, mate, I'm going to go. See you later, guys. Right, here we go. I'm packing up. And I've just had a cracking bite on my my big bait. Good dump. Probably dogfish then. Oh, it's still going, isn't it? Still going. Right, so what do? Do I leave it a bit long? Oh yeah, it's still going. I think that's a dogfish, to be honest. I do think that's a dogfish.
Give it a whack on it, though.
Take a little bit of slacking, do you think? There's something there, isn't there? We're gonna start packing up anyway, so I'm gonna wind this one in. If there's a fish on it, happy days. If there isn't, we're gonna pack it away. Well, it's not putting up an immense fight. No, don't think there's anything on here, but sometimes you don't know, do you? Oh, there is. Oh, it's woken up in the surf. It woke up in the surf. There it is. It's a dogfish, I believe. Whoops. Twist it up with the other rod. So there we go. Another fish. 2 dogfish to me and a nice sole for the night. And you know, it is time to pack up. So no harm in dragging this in. and it's a typical dogfish. It's probably not even hooked. Well, a brace of those on Sunday will be quite welcome, but not that exciting tonight. Right, so it's not over to the large lady sings. We've had one fish. Let's see if we get one on the other rod, but if not, I'm going to say good night now. So we'll see you later, but if something comes in on the other rod, then we'll put the camera back on. Bye.
You got me in the mood. It feels like